Hello, everybody, and welcome to English Grammar with Ameya sir. And today we are going to do some passage practice. Now, I would like to remind you that we are done as far as the textbook is concerned with the third unit. What we are going to do today is passage practice. It's one of those important things because the passages have a definite time limit. There are going to be at least 3 passages according to your syllabus. We've seen it earlier, and there would be an unseen passage as well. So you need to manage your time very well in order to attempt them decently, and you need practice for that. So today's session is all about passage practice. We will try to do 4 passages in this lecture. Okay, each passage will probably run for 14 to 15 minutes. Okay, and that is the ideal length, that is the ideal duration for which it should probably be attempted. It's no point finishing the passage in 5 minutes and writing something incorrectly. So utilize your time, and we are going to dive straight into the topic now. I will tell you where and how you can fall into the trap, how to avoid those things. The personal response, I'm going to provide you with the answers as well. There will be 4 passages that we will try to cover in today's lecture. Let's start with what I have to say at the introduction first. So this is about the passage practice, and well, the paper pattern we saw and we took an overview in the very first lecture. I remember, okay, the very first lecture I told you the kind of questions that you can anticipate in grammar, of how there was this confusion about the paper which was actually supposed to be for 100 marks. Then they again changed it to the 80-20 method. It's 80 marks written paper, 20 marks for orals. So we know, we've studied this. So if you remember, this is the pattern, and so it's the 80 mark. If you see the total down here, it is the 80 mark of written paper, and out of that we are going to deal with this seen passage. This is going to be the second seen passage, and then you would have an unseen passage. So if you count this, 10, 20 and 30, so it's 30 marks out of the 80 marks that you have to appear for, and that's quite significant. Keep that in mind. Now the weightage, if you see, this is the weightage that we saw, and the textual passage you see here, it amounts to 25%. Now if you think that is actually quite sizable contribution, you should not forget that the unseen passage is here for 10 marks out of 80. So if you total this up, it is 44%. Now 44% is very close to that 50% mark, and this is significant. Now you cannot deny that yes, these are important sections. So that's why I've decided that we'll do some passage practice today. I have no doubt, guys, that you are actually getting why this is important. 44%, well, you better be serious about this. If it is 44%, I mean, I'm saying the seen and the unseen together. So let's proceed now to the next slide, where I want to finish this introduction fast. The seen passages are for 10 marks, 2 marks for each question. There will be 5 such questions, so 2 5s are 10. The first question will be simple factual, where you have true or false, correct alternatives should be chosen, complete the following, match the columns, that's match the following sometimes. Second one will be complex factual questions, complete the table, web chart, complete the following, rearrange them in the order, arrange in sequence, chronology, something like that. Third one is vocabulary based. So they would ask you to find word from passage, then they would ask you to create a word register, or they would ask you to choose the odd one out with reason. That is important. The next, you would have grammar questions for 2 marks. Either there will be one big question for 2 marks, or it will be 2 questions, 1 mark each. Now we have studied in the grammar topic what those I believe we saw that there were 21 different topics in grammar. The last one is personal response, and the 3 ways board will ask you this. Either they'll ask you to share your opinion. Guys, prepare this question very well. This is where you're going to go ahead in the race. I often say this. Let me come on cam to explain you this properly. Well, the other questions are going to be simple. There are about 20 lakh students appearing for this next year. So all I'm saying is that they would come prepared with a glossary. They would know how to attempt the first and the second question. They would be good at language study. Personal response question for 2 marks. Well, that is where you could win the race. So what I'm saying is, don't just discount those 2 marks. Be very alert. Attempt it very nicely, because that's the one place where they could get half, one, somewhere in that region, and you could get 1.5. Maybe if the examiner is very lenient, 2 out of 2. That doesn't normally happen, but at least 1.5. So that, and don't think that it is just a difference of half a mark. Okay, you get 1.5, somebody gets 1, but that's half mark in that passage. There are going to be 3 such passages. So it could easily be 2 mark difference. And if you then see these half marks, they add up. And out of 80, then that's significant lead of 4 marks or 5 marks. And that's important. I'm sure you've seen cricket, and you see how the fielders actually, they do whatever they can to save that 1 run. Imagine if it was almost a boundary, but then they make a fantastic save and the batsman, they run 3. So 1 run was saved there. If you save such 1 run in every over, in an ODI, in one day international, isn't that 50 runs? Same is the logic here. So apply this rule and attempt the personal response questions very nicely. So I was telling you, what should you expect in the personal response? Well, these are the things that are included in the personal response. So you have sharing your opinion. They'll ask you what in your opinion is something. So they will ask your opinion. So it is a personal response. It's your opinion, right? They will ask you yes or no. Do you support this? Do you think it is right? Or something like that, but with support. You are not going to get 2 marks for writing yes. You are going to get 1.5 or 2 in order to write yes, but to support yes. Write no and then support no. So they will ask you whether yes or no and support your answer. And the last is they'll ask you to write something totally out of your imagination. Now, how is that possible? Well, imagine the topic is something like India of tomorrow. There is some unseen passage about how technology is, really making progress. Every passing day brings something new, and then they ask you to imagine how the world will be in 2050. So that's your imagination, right? So either they'll ask you like that, or they might ask you the yes or no, your opinion, or as the first one we saw, it was sharing your opinion. So let's get back to what we were studying. All right, what else do we have? The time management, such an important concept. How much time? Often the students ask me, how much time should one passage take? Here is the quick answer to that. There will be 3 passages, and when I say 3 passages, you know I'm talking about 2 seen and 1 unseen passage. So the time is, for seen passages, you should, overall it should take 50 minutes. I'm saying the total for 3 passages. The seen passages should be done in 30 minutes. That means 15 into 2. So one passage should take 15 minutes. And the unseen passage, this is about the seen passage, the unseen passage should be done in 20 minutes. Now the obvious reason why I'm giving 5 minutes extra for the unseen is because you'll have to read the passage. For the seen passage, you know it's from your textbook, so there are chances that you know the content, you know you've studied the glossary, you know the grammar entries, because there are so many grammar questions we do when we discuss the lesson, right? But that is not going to be the case in as far as the unseen passages are concerned. That's why for the unseen passage you should spare 20 minutes, 5 minutes extra, and for seen passages 15 minutes. So I am sure you've got this, and please make a note of this. 50 minutes overall for all the passages. 15 twos are 30 minutes for the seen passages, and 20 minutes for the one unseen passage. 5 minutes extra because it is unseen. You've never seen it before. Okay. Now I want to add something when I talk about the unseen. The board says it's unseen, and yes, it is unseen for you, but here is what sometimes what I've observed. What happens is the board gives you a passage which is the lesson of some previous syllabus. Are you getting it? So it wouldn't be a bad idea to go through some old textbooks if you can find, or maybe even online if you can get some lessons, the previous syllabus. What happens is that there are chances, I've seen, sometimes it happens. So it's unseen for you. But as a teacher, I definitely have seen, hey, this chapter I've taught it some year. So they are chapters which are unseen for you, but then they are the chapters of the previous syllabus. So if you can, well, prepare in that way as well. Let us go and study now. I think I've covered up everything in detail. I won't give you 2 minutes extra for this. I'm sure you can jot it down quickly. So please do that. And now this is the first passage, and that is why I was saying, guys, that in this lecture let's try and do 4 passages, because 60-minute lecture, 15-minute per passage, so let's do 4 passages. But I believe that we today had to cover the introduction. Next time we can just start with the passage, but because this was the first passage practice session, it was good that we started with the introduction. So maybe we will try 3 passages today in the remainder of about whatever 47-48 minutes that we have. So the way to do it is, I need your textbook open. Of course, I need your notepad. So I will tell you the page number. I'll tell you what the passage is. Yes, the passage will be here, but I have to share the questions also with you. So I'll tell you the passage. You can mark the passage in the textbook. Keep the textbook in front of you. You're going to refer to that. And then the questions will come one by one. And I will give you 2 minutes for every question. So 2 minutes for every question. You will have 5 such questions. So if we can do it in 10 minutes, wonderful. But I believe for the personal response, the last one, I will concede 3 minutes, because then you have to write down, and I am going to share the answers with you. So you would like to compare the thought process and what was expected and what you wrote. I'm going to share the answers immediately. Okay. So 2 minutes per question, except what about grammar? 2 minutes enough? We'll take a call. At the moment, let it be 2 minutes. For personal response, of course, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. If you can do this in this time limit, that means you can manage in 15 minutes very easily. Because as it is now, you will have 11 minutes. 8 minutes for the first 4 questions and 3 minutes for the last question. So you should be happy if you can do it in this time limit. Let's start with the first. This is the passage, guys. And the textbook page is 110. So I want you to open your textbooks now. Go to page 110. You would see that this one is the passage. The entire page 110. So it starts from no, of course not. It's the lesson, the night I met Einstein. 3.2, as you can see, the unit is mentioned here, unit 3.2, and the entire page 110 is your passage. You have it here, but of course it's not very clear, this the entire page, and I want your textbook. You can use your textbook, doesn't matter if it has some entries. Okay, and now I think we can start with the first set. The first set is match the following. I repeat, wait for the question, then I'll start a couple of minutes, and in 2 minutes you should do this. So your time starts now. Okay, use your textbook and then you can do it. We are talking about 3.2. Attempt it very properly, write down the question and then probably match it by writing the number and the corresponding letter. Don't draw lines. Do it in a way you would do it at the board. So I don't want you to take it lightly. Take it damn seriously. Do it the way you will do it at the SSC board. Imagine you are in the examination hall right now. How seriously would you do this? Treat it seriously. This is passage practice. Okay. Your time is up, and I have no doubt that you have done it perfectly. So here are the answers. So option C was for number 1, and option A for number 2. The option B was the useless option. Let me know in the comments if you got it 100% correct. I am sure you got it absolutely right. Proceed to the next one. The second one will be complete the following. And again, the moment I have the question on screen, I will start the countdown. Okay. So here is the question, and your time starts now. Complete the following. So the first one is, when the concert ended, you have to complete it. Second one, you have to learn addition and subtraction. The third one, my young friend here and I, however. And the last one, it was as if I was. Let's see. Do it. I'll see you in some time. Okay, so when you complete the statements, you have to write until the full stop. So it should be a complete statement. So try and go till the full stop, and please write it in proper handwriting. I've already urged you to take it seriously. Okay, so the time is up, and I have no doubt that you have got the correct answers. So here are your answers. When the concert ended, I was, that is the writer, 2 was able to clap sincerely. You have to learn addition and subtraction in order to do multiplication and division. My young friend here and I, however, were engaged in the greatest activity of which a human being is capable. It was as if I was the most important person in his world. Guys, this is for 2 marks, which means it was half mark for each. Half mark for each. So please check it, and you can start giving marks as well. For the last one, if both the numbers, number 1 and number 2, were matched correctly, give 2 marks. It was 1 mark each. And now this one is half mark each. Let's proceed to the next one. The third one is vocabulary. So pick out words from the passage that mean. So as soon as I have the question, I'll start your couple of minutes. I'll start your countdown timer, and here are the questions. So your time starts. So what do you have to do here? Pick out words from the passage that mean. So first one is greatly surprised. The second one is a device that plays music. The third one is borders or limit. And the fourth and the last one is without any pretense, in a very genuine way. In a genuine way. Try and do this. Find words from the passage. Use your textbook, of course. I'll see you in some time. Enjoy the music. Okay, last under 10 seconds now, last 5. Alright, your time is up, and again I am sure that you found out all the 4 words, and here are your answers. Greatly surprised means amazed. It's there in the textbook, guys. All the words that you write, don't give me a synonym. The word should be there in the passage, guys. From the passage. A device that plays music is gramophone. Borders or limit is frontiers. Without any apprentice, in a genuine way, is sincerely. Did you find all? I am sure you found all. Let's proceed to question number 4. So this one also had 4 questions for 2 marks. That means half mark each. Please be precise in your calculation, guys. Now question number 4 we all know is going to be grammar. So there could be one question like direct, indirect. So that's that single question, or for that matter comparison of adjectives to be changed in both the remaining degrees. If it's superlative to positive, comparative, both. So either it's one question for 2 marks or 2 questions, 1 mark each. So let's see what we have here. As soon as I bring the question, I'll start your countdown timer. Here are your questions and your time starts. Let's see what the question is. He got up and turned off the gramophone. You'll have to rewrite using no sooner than. And the next one is I am sorry. Add a question tag. So try to get 2 out of 2 here. Enjoy the music as you attempt the answer. I'll see you in some time. Okay, under 10 seconds now. Last 5. And the time is up. Now guys, I'll be really happy if you get 2 out of 2 here, because it's a grammar entry. And by the way, the first one, no sooner than, I'm going to check if you make the typical error when it comes to no sooner than, and you probably know what I'm talking about. So here are the answers. No sooner did. Guys, let me know, did you use did? Yeah, did you use did correctly? And if you did use did correctly, then did you change the got to get. It should be present tense after did. No sooner did he get up than he turned off the gramophone. Guys, let me know if you, in the comments, you can leave a comment. Please be honest and tell me if you did this. Just writing did is not enough. You should change that got to get. After did, you introduce the present form. And the next one, I am sorry, am changes to aren't. Now, if there's anybody who has written ain't, well, that's informal language. That's not allowed. The answer should be aren't I. I am sorry, aren't I. So, did you get 2 out of 2? I would like to imagine that you got 2 out of 2. And now for the last but the most important question, which is the personal response question for 2 marks. Now do not make haste here. I am going to give you 3 minutes for this, because I want you to write actually, a very properly. Compose your answer, give it a thought, and then write it down. And utilize the 3 minutes that I've given you in a good handwriting. I've already said this many times in this video itself. Take it seriously. Do it like you will do at the board. And then later, of course, I'm going to share my answer with you. So as soon as I read the question, I'll start your countdown timer. But this time, the countdown will be for 3 minutes. Here's the question, and I'll start your countdown timer. The question: have you ever attended a live concert? Describe your experience in short. Remember, there was a pianist, so there was a concert. So have you ever attended a live concert? Describe your experience in short. Go ahead, attempt it, enjoy the music alongside, and I'll see you in some time. Okay, under a minute now. Okay, under 10 seconds. And your time is up. And guys, I am sure that you were able to compose a good answer. And here is the thing. Now, before I reveal the answer, let's talk about what some students present as an excuse. What they say is, sir, I've never been to a live concert. How can I write this answer? Well, that could be true. That could be true. But be honest. Even if imagine you haven't ever had that luck, it's person response. First of all, you can write no and support it. Okay. Now, the thing is, you would know somebody who has been to a certain concert, or at least you know what happens at a live concert. So you can easily, nobody's going to check that. So in a personal response, try to be as positive as you can in both the ways. For example, you can say, yes, I had been to a concert, and you can write down the experience which your friend probably narrated to you. That is the way you can write yes. If you say no, you still can be positive later by saying that no, I've had no such luck because I wanted to go for it, but the passes were already, the tickets were sold out, or whatever the excuse. But I'm sure that had I been there, I would have enjoyed with my friends or something like that. Are you getting what I'm saying? But as far as possible, try to be positive. I'll give you another such example of becoming positive. Suppose the passage was about India, the superpower India. It's an unseen passage. And now they ask you, do you believe that India will be superpower in the next 5 years? So you should be optimistic. Board will not like a negative approach by a student like, no, I think that's very tough. India superpower, there are a lot of challenges. They would want you to be optimistic and say, surely there are some issues, but there is a lot of development happening and I see India as a superpower, if not in the next 5 years, at least in the next decade. So something like that, that should be positive. I'm sure you understood what my point is, guys, and that you would like it. So make it a point that your answers, let it be positive. So let's share the answer now. In fact, I'm going to share my answer with you. So here is the answer that I feel would be written for this one. Let me read it and listen to this properly, okay? Yes. So first of all, I'm being positive here. Yes, I'll underline that. Yes, I was lucky to get the passes to attend a live concert by, and I'm going to underline that, a live concert by Sonu Nigam. The feeling was exhilarating. Guys, the words have been interchanged. No, the feeling was, I'm right. The feeling was interchanged. So not interchanged. The feeling was exhilarating, and this is a good word, so I'm going to underline that. Since he is my favorite singer. Now, I'm sure you understand about exhilarating. If you don't, should I say it or should I ask you to find it out as homework? I'll ask you to find it as homework. Leave it in the comments, or as usual, your preferred mode. You can WhatsApp or email me. So what's the meaning of exhilarating? Since he is my favorite singer, I get goosebumps even as I recollect the experience. So every time you recollect that experience, you feel that you feel the thrill, the excitement once more. I even took his autograph. Well, that is a nice point to write. I even took his autograph, and that day will remain as one of the most memorable days of my life. Now, very quickly, you can compare with what your answer is to mine. I am not saying that my answer is the best. That's why you call it personal response. I just gave you a sample of my answer. You can see if you covered up those points. What did I mention? First of all, the positivity. Second, I mentioned the experience. Third, I mentioned that it is a memorable experience. Fourth, celebrity. So I took the autograph. So these are the components, and this could apply to any program where there is a celebrity. So this kind of practice will help you to attempt personal response. Alright, so if you covered up all the points and you wrote it sizable, let's say about 4 to 5 lines at least, you can give 1.5 mark. If there are no grammatical errors, if there's no spelling mistake, something. Otherwise, give 1. And then you can let me know in the comments what your score was out of 10. Now we are done with the first passage. This was the passage that we were doing. And at the moment, I will take you to the next passage. So let me quickly get you to the next passage. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm just preparing for our next passage. So the next passage will be from Stephen Hawking. That's great physicist that the world knows. There's a passage, in fact a lesson for you, passage at the moment. Okay, so now let me just pull up that passage in front of you. I got passage 3 first. No, that's not what we want. I don't want passage 3 first. I don't want passage 3 first. I want passage 2 first. So is this one the passage 2? I think yes, we did it. We did it from let us do it from the lesson, the concert. Guys, let's do it. This is from the lesson concert. And now just allow me to pull that. Yeah, there you go. So this is passage practice 2. We have already covered passage 1, and now it is time for us to do the second passage. So this is unit 3.6. I want your textbooks ready. Go to page 141, and the entire page again is your passage. Unit is 3.6. It's the concert. So I'm sure you have it ready. And if yes, I would like to proceed to the first question. As usual, for the first 4 questions, we will have allot 2 minutes, a couple of minutes. And for the personal response, let us take 3 minutes. Alright then. So this is your first question, and it is true or false. And the bracket clearly mentions that if the statement is false, you will have to correct it. Good handwriting, guys. This will be interesting. You can send your images, your notepad images as WhatsApp. You can do that so that I know your presentation, your handwriting. You can do that. Okay, so send your homework not just as a comment that you can type, but you can share your images. I'll know how seriously you took this. So as soon as I have the question, I'll start your countdown timer for a couple of minutes, and your countdown starts. Let me read the question. True or false? Correct the false statements. The 2 music legends arrived in an auto rickshaw at Aunt Sushila's place. The second one, the mustachioed man was not very cooperative. So please make sure that you utilize the time, and I will see you in some time. Okay, under 10 seconds now. I'm sure you're done with this. Let me now reveal the answers in about just a second, and your time is up. So here are the answers for the true or false, and the first one was false, the second one was true. So I've written the answer again. You might just stop at true. So false. The 2 music legends arrived in a taxi at Aunt Sushila's place. Guys, they didn't come in an auto. And the next one is true. So you can just write true. However, I have just copied that line as it is. It's not compulsory. I have done that. So for you, it's not compulsory. If it's true, it's true. That's it. Okay. And sometimes in other subjects, sometimes in social sciences, I believe you have to justify even if it is true. You have to talk something about it. At the moment, true is just enough. Let us proceed now to the next question. Name the characters. So this is your question number 2. The countdown will start as soon as I pull up the question in front of you. Here is the question, or here are the questions, and your time starts. Name the characters. The supportive relative of the family, the cancer patient in the story, the brave and loving sister in the story, and the sitar pandit. Name these characters. You have a couple of minutes, and I'll see you in some time. Enjoy the music alongside. Okay, under 10 seconds. It's there are 4 questions for 2 marks, half mark each. Your time is up, and so I have no doubt yet again that because this was pretty easy, you would have scored everything correctly. Here are the answers. The supportive relative of the family was Aunt Sushila. The cancer patient was brother Anant, and the brave and the loving sister Smita. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar Pandit. If you have written Ustad Alarkha, that's wrong. That's the tabla Ustad, right? We wanted the sitar Pandit. So, did you get 2 out of 2? Well, hopefully, yes. Let's proceed to question number 3. The moment I pull up the question, I'll start your countdown timer. Examples of code mixing. 4 examples with meaning. That is very important. Your time has started. That you provide code mixing examples but with the meaning. Do it. All the best. I'll see you in some time. Okay, under 10 seconds now. Guys, you have to write down with the meanings. Remember that. Your time is up, and I have no doubt that you found all the 4 examples. Let's see one by one. Pandit ji, a learned person or a scholar. So that's the first word. Sahib is an officer. Pan is the betel leaf. And divan was another word. All in italics in the textbook if you see. Did you get all of them? If yes, wonderful. Leave a comment. And now question number 4 for grammar. Let me read them and start your couple of minutes. Here are your questions. Your time starts. Let me read the question or questions. They will play for you. Pick out the modal auxiliary. That's the first part. And state its type. That's the second. The Ustad said, tomorrow morning we will perform for the boy. Change to the reported speech. So you have to make it indirect. Guys, remember how the wordings can be different. The indirect speech, reported speech. So try to score full 2 marks, 2 out of 2 here. And by the way, I won't see you, but then as I said last time, you will see me after some time. Okay, enjoy the music. All the best. Okay, under 10 seconds now, and soon I will reveal the answers. Grammar questions, always important. Come on, let's see. I'm sure you got the right answers, and the correct answers are will was the modal auxiliary, and it shows certainty. The Ustad said that tomorrow morning will change to the next morning, will change to would. They would perform for the boy. I am sure you got it absolutely right. Okay, if not, please make a note of the correct answers. You can always pause the video for that. Now, personal response question here should be question number 5 here, right? Okay, so question 5, personal response. And by the way, let me start 3 minutes as decided, and you should attempt it very seriously. And your question is, what do you think about the gesture shown by the two music legends? You have to talk about that. Your time starts now. All the very best. Guys, if you're wondering what is a gesture is the action without words. So what they did is their gesture for the boy. So what do you think about that? They were legends, right? Pandit and Ustad. Now what they did, what is your opinion about what they did for the boy? That's what the question is. Okay, the time is up and I'm sure that you tried to come up with something special. Here is my answer. I think that Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Alarkha displayed tremendous humanity. They both were superstars, yet so down to earth and so considerate. They understood the crux of the situation. Guys, crux of the situation is important part, okay? Importance of the situation, the vitality of the situation. Look it up in the dictionary. As Anand was fighting with cancer and was tied to the bear, furthermore, they realized that the boy did not have a lot of time for him. And this would be a chance of a lifetime. I've included the punchline here. He could not have come to the concert, so the legends brought the concert to him. That is so important. The legends brought the concert to him. Something along these lines should be the answer. The use of vocabulary here, the crux, the chance of a lifetime, they brought the concert to him, they showed tremendous humanity, they showed that they were so considerate, down to earth, something like that. Check and be honest with how much you would like to give, 1 or 1.5, and let me know. Guys, let us quickly, you will have time until we'll have about 7 minutes left with us, so we will quickly, very quickly go to the last passage that we want to do for today. And very quickly, guys, Stephen Hawking, of course you know that last time I actually opened that passage, so I have it ready. Let me pull it up. Passage is passage number 3, and the page number is 118 here. So please open your textbooks quickly. Now here is the plan, guys. The plan is that because we have about 6 minutes left, we will consider that as 8 minutes, and we will do the first 4 questions, and the last one, personal response, will be your homework. Okay, let's do it that way. And I want you all ready with page number 118, and the unit is 3.3. And here is your first question. Choose the alternative, and the moment I pull up the question, you know, I'm going to grant you a couple of minutes. Choose the correct alternative. Your time starts now. After a tracheotomy, he lost his, and the point is his voice. You want voice. He lost his voice. Yeah. That was in the year what? Which of the following city or place is not mentioned in the passage? It's important. Not mentioned in the passage. Guys, I have corrected it. After a tracheotomy, he lost his voice, and that was in the year, and then you have to choose. Okay, your time is up, and a lot of correction even for me to do. Which of the following cities? Okay, which of the following cities? It should be the plural. So let me go ahead and do that as well. But meanwhile, Let me show the answers. We want that also done pretty fast. And here are the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. I have no doubt that you got it right. It was 1985, and this one is New York. So I hope that you got them both correct. Let us quickly move on to the next question. So what is the next question? The next question is provide word entries. Provide word entries. And the question is, look at the word ever expanding. Now find and write 4 more such examples from the passage. 4 more such examples. Okay. So I'm going to start your countdown now. So they want us to find out 4 more examples. Ever expanding is one they have provided. Look at hyphenated words, guys. Okay, under 10 seconds now. And the time is up, and the answers are, you can write ever worsening, mid 1970s, 24-hour nursing, non-scientific. Let me know if you got all of them. The next one is fill in the blanks using suitable word from the passage. So you have to use the passage and then you'll have to fill in the blanks. Okay. Here are your 4 questions. Your time starts now. She was a dash writer who has written over 20 novels. Next one. The COVID-19 pandemic is an unprecedented dash that has brought the world economy to a standstill. The patient's condition is very dash, but we will do our best to save him, said the doctor. He was a very dash scientist and therefore he was honored with the Nobel Prize. The words in the blanks are to be found from the passage, guys. The lines are from outside the passage. But that is to check if you've understood vocabulary there, guys. So words are from the passage. Okay, under 10 seconds. The time is up, and now here are the answers very quickly. Okay, she was a prolific writer. The COVID-19 is an unprecedented thing. It brought what? Predicament. The patient is very gravely ill. Okay, the patient is very gravely ill. He was a very acclaimed scientist. Okay, so I'm sure you got all four. And now let me come on cam for something. We always try to keep our lectures for an hour, and we have already gone past an hour. So question number 4 and 5 will be your homework. Let me pull up the question number 4 immediately for you. The question number 4 is the grammar entry. So this is your question number 4. Please make a note of this very quickly. I'll wait about 30 seconds only. We have gone over an hour. I want to keep it around an hour, not more than that. Please jot it down quickly. The first one is frame a WH type question. And the next one is all the 4 words you have to provide verb forms. Okay. You can pause the video. And now I will try to get you to that next one. So I don't want to show you the answers. That's why I would make sure that I will take you to the personal response directly. And here is a personal response question for you. Jot it down. According to you, what are the qualities that helped Stephen Hawking overcome his difficulties and lead a successful life? Why was he so successful? Okay. Again, pause the video if you want. Jot it down. So I'm very happy to bring this first part. I was indeed excited, and I'm very happy that we did the passage practice. Such an important feature that you should be able to write the passages, and we did it in about 11 minutes every passage. You can take up to 15 minutes for one passage. So you should be happy. Let me know in the comments. We will meet soon. Stay home, stay safe, take care.